performer. She's about to come up here and do her thing. So what I need you to do is start picking up the energy and clap like crazy as we welcome to the stage Rhian Edwards. And keep clapping.
Hello.
Hello.
This poem is called Tiptoe, and it goes like this. I wander dreamless through your dialogues, the ephemera of affection. I trape shoeless through these dialects, these contentious claims to passions. I press these brittle souls upon the fire-licked blistered coals, upon the stain that broke the glass, upon the eggshells and kid gloves, and through the splinters, flints and shards, I forged these uneroded paths. And yet I tiptoe through your daydreams, the outcast your trances toyed at night. And meanwhile, buoyed by moons and frozen sheets, I thumped the thinning ice. So I meander through the arid, abandoning beds where I've expired. I'm walking dead to you, bereft of you, with crumbs of poems left of you, armed with a memory now for forgetting you. And so I wander seamless through this monologue, my forever of affection. I traipse boot-laced with my idiolect, my unchampioned claims to passions, so you can tear this infrastructure. This composure cannot flounder, and with the toughness of magnolia, the cold robustness of a character that seems to make and somehow merit me as my mother's goddamn daughter, for I'm my walker, I'm my soldier, I'm my legion and stigmata, and with a foot bind of a concubine, I'll still march on and over, for there's no man, no situation worth the shame to ever crawl for. And yet I tiptoe through your daydreams, and still I tiptoe through your daydreams. And when that thought has passed, have I left my mark? No, not even a footprint of me now remains.
Right.
Thank you very much. I want to dedicate this poem to this wonderful chap here. This is called, what was the title of your last poem? I eat dick by the pound. I shall call this poem from here on in. And you thought I was all proper and everything. It's a very short poem because I'm white. It goes like this. Looking me dizzy, licking me drunk, in the face of our nudity, I am not nearly naked enough. Sorry, now that's my fiance over there. I was improvising. Crikey Moses, I'm in trouble, lots of trouble. Okay. I came over here in May, I think, the first time we met, and I met my future husband while I was here. So I've been pond hopping ever since. So both of us have been spending a lot of time at airports. And airports are an amazing place, especially if you're a writer, to observe people's relationship with time, because people have to wait for a long time. So I recommend it to everyone. This poem is called Outcast Hours, and it goes like this. White light weighs heavy, bullying bright as squash courts. I fix a dirty look on the electric clock. The walled minutes stagger their blinks. Wheel-footed suitcases scurry about me like clueless dogs, while flip-flops tick-tock against the polished rink of the concourse. This velocity suits some, and one girl's patience is vivid, measured by the careful brushstrokes of plum on her toenails. Her boyfriend hibernates, his legs stretch out before him. Ankles crossed, he wags his foot, conducting his concert of sleep. A ponytailed mother raises an eye for her wandering son. She scoops him up and breathes in his scalp, in chase of a smell that is running away from her. The antique couple are butchering time. Their teeth tear through baguettes, raining faded confetti onto open laps. Shy of games and companions, fidgeting in plastic bone chairs, we comb the air for that splintered voice, dictating when our sky will ship us. When I first started reading my poetry out loud back in the UK and in London, the Welsh are seen as very stupid, to be honest, and I was very self-conscious of my accent, so I would impersonate other people. One of whom is Dorothy Parker, who is one of my favourite poets of all time. And this seems like ridiculous. I should not attempt a New York accent in New York, but I shall take another glug of a beer again. She would have approved. Okay. This poem is called Tentative Discourse. This is also for you. I got my second, just in case it all falls through. Oh, love, it will never fall through, man. Okay. Yes, back to the poetry, really. Yes. This poem is called Tentative Discourse. And it goes like this. Tonight my rhetoric is running on empty. Well, to be perfectly honest, it ain't running at all. Instead, it's nursing inebriate and candid remarks, irresponsibly imparted the night before. Tonight I'm all out of my idiolect and my signature wit, yet you still hang on my every like chimps on a twig. I mean, look at you. On the edge of your seats, metaphoric of course, impatiently awaiting some sardonic retort. I mean, what is this conversation to you anyway? Repartee tennis or derisory blood sport? Feeling unindulged now, are we? Deflated by a distinct absence of eloquence. Well, I bid you adieu, my insignificant others, because I've done my hard time. I've completed my sentence. I do have two more. Oh, shucks, crikey. Oh, blimminack. Okay, anyone got a mouse infestation? Anyone? I did, and we got the Pest Controller round, and I expected him to be, well, a bit like, is it John Goodman from Arachnophobia? But he was an Adonis, and I was like, I had yesterday's makeup on, elasticated clothing, nonetheless I tried to seduce him.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't him. Bless you, lovely. We love it when he talks. He doesn't do it much. So, yes, this poem is very unoriginally called The Pest Controller, and it goes like this. My offer of tea was cryptic code for marriage, which he politely declined, obliging me to make small talk about infestations. I showed him the oven where I accidentally roasted a mouse and told him I drowned one in a bin when I caught it pissing blood. Another one came to my bedroom to die. I explained I wrote poems to excuse my bedlam hair and ramshackle clobber. What kind of stuff do you write?" he asked, sticking his head in the bathroom cupboard while fiddling for daydreaming vermin. "Love poems, the dark side," I said, hounding him round the house, wondering whether to give him a dedicated copy of my book, which is $5, by the way, or slap on some face. "Then you don't know what love is," he said, shaking poisoned grain into boxes as if he were emptying a sweet jar. Say thank you very much to the Inspired Word for having me this evening. I'm taking him with me as well, back to the UK, back to Wales. Yeah, he's coming back. And thank you very much. Yes, I worked that magic. This is my last poem. I was commissioned to write this poem, which is grand, and I had to write a poem for National Poetry Day on the subject of food. And I thought, what's my boyfriend's favourite dinner, which was a roast? And me being me, my second thought was, what if he was the roast? Thus this poem was born. See how these cogs turn you. This poem is called Girl Meets Boy, and it's meets with an A. Buckle up, buttercups. Wow. And it goes like this. The goose-necked fork and the cat-fanged knife stood poles apart like soldier guards, west and easting a world of plate, of petticoat white piled mole mound high, with the tatters of a man who had recently expired. And my fingers thimbled fish-cold steel, eyes plump as fruit with dripping pout. My tongue unrolled red carpet-like, as I ploughed and trowelled with tools and cut. For plaited here was my better half, my all-consuming light and dark, who saw us better as separate halves, a divorce I decreed with a slit apart. And his white neck smirked an angry grin as the liquid poured in beetroot red, and berry tears stained wall and tile as he stagger waltzed while draining dead. He ragdoll slumped in a choir of pans, where stew pots stooled his skull, and all was mute, set weep of wound, ink-blotting troughs of metal. I heaved the stew pots, bucket-brimmed, slammed down on hob and flame, and fried the blood-fat pudding black, a macabre supper entertained. So slabbed on ground, I sponged him down, combed clean of smear and dirt. I raked off hair with scrape and pluck, and skinned him pink and bald as birth. I butchered limbs with rabid zeal, and knifed through muscled plums. I ripped and gutted as he did me, and reduced this man to crumbs. And ginger root doused butter sweats of garlic rocks and pepper dust, and I basted thigh and rump and breast, and cooked him gold in a parsnip nest. His wave of hand slid down in soup of mushroom nutmeg milk, so dab of hand and finger tickle could brush my lips with each spoon gulp. I jellied his thoughts in pickle sour, soused face in stew of onions. I parched his ears to biscuit bread, crisp nose to pencil shavings. I cured his heart. I syruped it sweet, cake baked in cream and cherries. My menu done, I throned to dine, and claw-pawed at the ash-grey cutlery. And lips fell apart for the kiss of you, bled puddles of spit for scraps of you, gouged cheeks of meat to feast on you, tore threads of flesh and teeth of you, licked marrow, bone and pulp of you, let belly swell with fat of you, pigged pregnant with the pith of you, gut, liver, spleen digesting you, my newborn blood absorbing you, my pulse, my veins, heart pumping you, no flies on you, no worms on you, no scavenge bait, no urn of you, from liver to liver, heart to heart, blood to blood. This woman, she made a meal of you. Thank you very much for having me.